Hey guys, welcome back and Happy New Year. So today I'm going to be doing my 2021 Best of Beauty video part 1. This is going to be all makeup and hair care. So I have a ton of products from the past year that I've been loving that I want to share with you guys. So I'm not going to go into a full spiel. We are just going to dive right in. And I am going to start off with primer. So for primer we have the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer. This has been my favorite ever since I tried it. I haven't really used anything else, and this is for blurring and mattifying only. So I only use this in my T-zone for blurring pores, mattifying, all of that. And I don't feel the need to apply a primer anywhere else. I just really make sure to hydrate and moisturize my skin very well before I go in with my makeup. That way I don't really need to add an additional product in those areas. But for the T-zone, to prevent myself getting oily and to really blur the pores, I really love this one. It has a kind of weird finish, like it almost comes off like as like a glue, like when you're pressing it in. I don't know, it's hard to describe. It has a weird texture, not like any other makeup primer I've tried, but it is silicone free and it's really great. Next, let's move on to foundation, and I have several to share with you guys. I really just couldn't narrow it down because I use different ones for different reasons and different seasons, and yeah, foundation is just one of those things. It just really depends on my mood and what I'm going for. So we'll start off with the least amount of coverage, and that is this YSL Bare Look New Skin Tint. So this has been one of my favorites. If you're looking for something that's your skin but better, very lightweight, very natural looking, go for this. This is their newest foundation, I believe, and I love it. It just looks so natural and skin-like. It has some skincare properties as well. I believe there's like hyaluronic acid in there. So it's really like hydrating and plumping. And even though it is a skin tint, it lasts on my skin really nicely. It doesn't feel too tacky or greasy like a lot of skin tints that I've tried, and I just really love it. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know I used to love the YSL Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow Foundation. This is basically the same thing as that, but take out the fragrance and SPF. And make it cheaper and make it without a pump. So this is really great. Very similar to that. If you like that one, definitely check this out. It's really great for kind of like no makeup days, but also if you pair it with more full coverage products and powders, you can really make it glam as well. So very nice. Love that. Then next I wanted to mention the Lawless Conceal the Deal Longwear Full Coverage Foundation. This is really nice. It's a very liquidy product, as you can tell by, you know, just shaking it. It goes on like a dropper almost, so it's like extremely liquidy, and I don't know what it is about it, but it almost like blurs your skin like as you're applying it, and it really does last all day, and it's long wear as it claims. The coverage is buildable. It can get up to full coverage. I would say it's about medium to full, and I really just haven't tried a formula that is similar to this. So this is the shade Sandalwood, and I just love this. I use this in my bridal video. As you can see, it kind of just dries down to this really nice like matte, but not drying matte. So it's really beautiful, great for like everyday or a special occasion, photographs beautifully. And then the next one I wanted to mention, I had to mention this because I tried this year and I was just kind of like blown away by it. That is the Dior Air Flash Spray Foundation. This is water resistant, 12-hour wear. This is like the go-to foundation for a special occasion. It comes in an aerosol can, so it's basically like airbrush makeup in a can, which the name pretty much says that, but it really does give you that flawless finish. I might use this for my wedding day. I'm not sure, just because I'm traveling for my wedding and this on an airplane makes me really nervous, so I might end up going with this. But yeah, it's so beautiful. It lasts really nicely on the skin. I would say this is great for all skin types but dry. I think dry skin, because it's an aerosol formula, I believe there's like alcohol in there, it just wouldn't be friendly for dry skin, I don't think, but I love it. And the way that I apply this is I spray it onto a brush, like I'll hold a brush in my hand and spray it, and then any of the overspray will go on my hand, not anywhere else, and I just feel like you get the most product that way, because if you put it on your hand, the hand will like absorb some of the product, and if you spray it directly on your skin, you need to be an expert to do that. So I will not recommend you do that. I do it sometimes, but I wouldn't recommend it. And then one other foundation I wanted to mention for like a glowy finish, I was going to say the Armani Luminous Silk, but this reminds me of this a lot, but it's like $15 to $20 cheaper, and that is the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. I am shade W307. I love this. Again, it gives you a really nice glowy finish. It is more coverage than this, but not full coverage, but it is buildable. It just feels really nice on the skin. Again, has skincare benefits. So if you're looking for like something that's like a skin tint, but a little bit more coverage, I would say try this out. But any of those foundations, I'm obsessed with. So next, let's talk about concealer. I have a bunch that I tried this year and I did like, but I always go back to this one, and this is the one that I put in my makeup bag when I'm traveling, so I was like, you know what, I have to mention this one. So this is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. I believe this was in last year's favorites as well, but I just love it. It's really great coverage. It's creamy. It's not drying. It's not creasy. I just really, really love it. And yeah, so I have this in shade 2N and 1W. Sometimes I mix them, or if I'm lighter, I just use this, or if I'm more tan, I just use 2N, which is more of like it says N, but it's a little bit peachy. And this is 1W, which is like a warm, fair to light shade. And I just really, really love the formula of this, and I kind of just like always go back to it. It's like my comfort concealer, you know? Next, let's move on to bronzer and contour. So first, for a cream contour slash bronzer, I have been obsessed with the Makeup by Mario Sculpting Sticks, specifically the shade Medium Dark. I love this. It's a beautiful, like, olivey neutral tone. It's not too orange, but I can still bronze and contour with it at the same time. I love this. The formulation is creamy, but it's like a cream to powder finish. So I like that about it. It's not too creamy and greasy. And some things, like when it's too emollient, like it spreads too much, or like when you go to set it with a powder, like it's too tacky, and then it's hard to set with a powder without it getting patchy. So this, since it dries to more of a powdery finish, you don't really have to set it, but in most cases I will, just because if I'm doing like a full glam, I'm going to set it. I just really love this, the shade, the formula. I love everything about it. Then for like an all-over powder bronzer, my favorite is the Ilia Novelty. As you can see, I've hit pan, but it's a really nice, beautiful golden olive shade. It works for me year-round. It is not patchy. It is not chalky. It blends really nicely. It is a clean beauty product, if that matters to you, and I really just love it. It's just like my go-to. When I don't know what bronzer to use, I use this one. Then for a more like radiant finish bronzer, I will use this one from Laura Mercier. This is technically not a bronzer. It's their Candle Glow Perfecting Powder in shade 5. So if you can see, it has just like a little bit of radiance in there. So it's not like straight up shimmer, but it will give you kind of like that lit from within type of glow. And I think it just looks so nice on the skin. And again, it's kind of like that similar warm olivey shade. And I just really, really like this. So that one I reach for a lot as well. And then we also have the Dior Backstage Contour Palette. I had to mention this. This is my favorite for like contouring my nose or doing like actual contouring. I'll go in with this shade specifically, or if I want to like really chisel like in my cheekbones, I'll add this deeper shade here. But I also really love these just as eyeshadows, just for everyday wear. This is one of my go-tos, and I travel with this as well. So I love that. So now moving on to blush. I have a few that I wanted to mention because I'm a blush fiend. So first we'll mention the Hourglass Vanish Blush Sticks. This is in the shade Sacred. I also really like the shade Revel, which is a bright red. I love that for like summertime, but this is just like a really nice like neutrally pink. I used this in my bridal video. I love the formulation of these. It actually reminds me a lot of the Makeup by Mario sticks. It's like a creamy matte, but it dries to almost like a powdery finish. So I just really love that formula on my skin. And especially, like I said, if I'm doing a full glam look, it makes it easier to set with powders. And I just really like the formula of these. They're very pigmented. I picked this up on a brush. I do not go straight into the face with this. The Makeup by Mario, I do go straight onto the face or with a brush. You can do either. And then I also wanted to mention to you guys these new blushes that I've been testing. I've only been using them for like a month or so, but they instantly became favorites, and I haven't even touched the Hourglass since then, so I feel like I had to mention them. So they're from Beauty Pie, and I have two shades. I have Bare Blush and Universal Pink. So I have Universal Pink on right now, and I am obsessed with the formula of these. It reminds me a lot of the Hourglass, but in a pot form. So yeah, just very nice and creamy, but dries to that powdery finish. And I love these two shades, just so pretty and way, way, way cheaper than the Hourglass. So definitely would recommend getting these. And I will be doing a full video with more Beauty Pie products. I can't say that. Beauty Pie products soon. Then I have a buttload of powder blushes I wanted to recommend. So first and foremost, we have the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic blush in Climax. I pretty much talk about this every single year, but it's a go-to of mine. Again, I travel with this. I just like the two shades combined. It's a really nice neutral shade, so it goes with pretty much any makeup look you're doing. So the outside's more of like a bronzy tone, and then the center is like this shimmery peachy shade, and it's just so pretty. I love this on the outer cheek to kind of like marry it with my bronzer. And then for the inner cheek, I use this in my bridal video, and I use this a lot. This is from Laura Mercier, is their shade Strawberry. So it's very similar to the viral Dior blush that everyone loves, which I like as well, but this one is a little bit more pigmented. So the Dior, I feel like I have to like go in several times to build it up to the intensity that I like, but this is just like right off the bat, it's that beautiful Barbie cool tone pink. So I love the formula of these. Another blush I wanted to mention, this has been my go-to for the fall and winter. I've been using this like almost every day. It is from Dior. It is the shade Poison, and it is so pretty. It's a pink, but it has almost like a purpley undertone to it, and it goes on the skin like airbrushed. So I need to get more colors of this formula because it just goes on so nice. So there's that shade there. It's so pretty. So pretty. It is. It really is. And then the last one I wanted to mention was like my go-to summer shade. And I have it in this palette. I don't know if they still make this palette, but I know they still make the blush. And it is NARS Orgasm X. And it's this really pretty like red coral bright shade with golden shimmer. It is so pretty and just the perfect summertime type of shade. Way better than a regular Orgasm in my opinion. Regular Orgasm, I feel like just doesn't show up enough for me. So, and I don't know why, but I really want you guys to see my sleeves. So, Orgasm X, if you were wondering which one to get. Oh, why am I so weird? I don't know. Next, let's move on to highlighters. So, I honestly really don't highlight all of that much, but when I do, I like it in strategic places, and I like it very natural. So, the first I wanted to mention, this is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is their Hollywood Flawless Filter. And this, I guess you can use all over the face, but I like this underneath my foundation just to add a little bit of radiance and like that lit from within type of glow. Like it's not super noticeable, but I know it's there, and it makes a difference. So I really love this underneath makeup. You could use it over top as well, but I just like it underneath. I use shade 4.5 medium. It's prettily, and it's pretty similar to my skin tone. So I love that. And then for a powder highlight, I love the YSL Touche Eclat 3D All Over Glow. This is very, very subtle. Like if you don't even really like highlighters, maybe try this because it basically just looks like a face powder because pretty much it looks like one. But it has like the softest amount of just like light reflecting. So it's down there. I don't know. The camera probably will never pick it up because the camera hates me most of the time. But it just really just reflects light just a little bit, and it has like a subtle pinky undertone, and it's just really nice if you want to like highlight your nose or highlight anywhere and just like bring light to that area without bringing shimmer and glitter. This is great if you want just a really subtle natural highlight. Try that. And then next I had to mention this highlighting palette from Dior. This is just a staple for me. I also love this for eyeshadows, but these are just so nice. It has every highlighter color you would want. So it has this really bright white shade, which I love for inner corner. Your typical champagne, so pretty. Then it has like a pinky tone, which is great if you want to make any matte blush a little bit more like glowy. And then a bronze shade, which is great for if you want to make your bronzer a little bit more glowy too. So this is just a staple. I feel like everyone should have this. It's so nice. They are a little bit more on the shimmery side, so that's why I like them for eyeshadows as well. But I don't know, it's just so nice, and I find myself reaching for this pretty much every single time I do my makeup, so that says a lot. And definitely 001 Universal is my favorite. I have all of the shades, but this is my favorite of these palettes. Now I'm going to talk about powders, and I have several different powders to talk to you guys about, and I use them for different reasons. So first, I was going to mention the Chantecaille loose powder that I said that I was loving and using in place of my Ilia Soft Focus, but I hate the packaging so incredibly much. Like, I hate it so much. I even ordered a different one to see if it would be better. It was not. So I kind of strayed away from using it, and I didn't want to travel with it because it was just annoying me so much. So I went back to my beloved Ilia Soft Focus powder, which I've been raving about for like 3 years now. And it's just the best. If you are looking for a truly translucent powder to set your makeup, it is not drying at all. It blurs your skin. It makes you look like a magical, like little soft porcelain doll. Like, it just, I don't know, somehow magically blurs your skin. Not in a drying way. It doesn't give any flashback. But if you wanted to bake with this, you can't, because it's that translucent that you cannot bake with it. So that's why I was kind of favoring the Chantecaille, but then I was like, no, F you, I hate your package. So this is great for setting the face, all over the face, the under eyes, wherever you want to set with this, or you can finish with this, but either way. And then what I've been baking my face with, if I'm going to bake under my eye, I have been using the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder in Voile Rose, which is shade number 3, which is the pinky one. It has 4 different like colored powders in there, but the overall effect is a, like, I don't want to like dump this, but it's like a light peachy pink shade, which I like. It's very brightening. It has a little bit of luminosity to it, but it's not sparkly or glittery or anything like that, and you can't really pick that up like once it's on the skin. And it keeps my skin pretty matte throughout the day, so even though it has like that luminosity, it doesn't get greasy for me, and I just love it. And this does have talc in it, so what I found is that if I set with the talc-free powder first and then go in with a powder like this that has talc in it, it doesn't bother my under eyes and give me milieu. So if there's some powders out there that you like that have talc in them, try setting them with a powder like this first. It definitely helps. Kind of creates like a barrier. And yeah, love that. So then next I wanted to mention this powder palette from By Terry. This is their Hydra powder in a pressed version in 4 different shades. And ever since I got this, I've been using this so much. So you can use this to set areas of your face, or yeah, I don't think you could use these as like foundations or anything. But anytime that I want to add like brightness or any kind of like extra coverage or anything like that, I go in with these. Like if I don't want to do baking or something, but I want to add a little brightness, I'll go in with this palette, and the color is kind of like washed out, but I like these 2 colors up here for like my under eye to like really brighten them. And this is kind of a similar finish and effect as the Ilia Soft Focus, so I kind of feel like this is like a pressed version of that with a tint, and I just really like it. It is infused with hyaluronic acid somehow, so it's like hydrating for like any like drier areas, but again, it doesn't get greasy for me throughout the day, even if I use it like in my T-zone areas. So I love that. Then for my favorite powder foundation, or just all over like tinted powder, I have this in literally every single shade that they make it in. I have it in light, fair, medium, tan. I don't have deep, I have rich. Rich I love for a bronzer, and you guys might have seen me use it for that purpose before, but my most used shade is medium. So I can use this as like a powder foundation, even though it's not marketed as a foundation. It is marketed as like a pressed powder, like a finishing powder, but I am obsessed with this. If you like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrushed Flawless, get this instead. It is better. I just love it so much. It looks so nice and smooth on the skin. It's not too matte. It just is my favorite powder ever, and that's why I have it in every color. So if I ever want more coverage under my eyes, I will go in with light or fair or medium, depending if I'm tan. Like I said, I like rich for bronzer as well. And I also like this as a buffing powder, which for me, how I do that is after I've done like all of the steps, before I go in with setting spray, I will take this on a big fluffy brush and just go over literally everything just to blend it all and make it seamless and airbrush looking. And this is my favorite powder to do that with. So I love it. I cannot say enough about it. And it's so cheap and it's talc free. So love that. And then one last and final powder I had to mention to you guys is this Milani Make It Last setting powder. So this is almost like a blotting powder, and if I use this as like the very last step in my makeup, I will not get like any breakthrough shine throughout the day, which is amazing. If you've ever used the Fenty blotting powder, this is very, very similar. It really just keeps your skin matte throughout the day. So you can use it as like the last step, or you can use this as like a touch-up powder throughout the day. And I like this with just a little powder puff, and it just really blurs your face as well. So I had to mention that, another good drugstore find. Which brings me to my next affordable find, which are these little triangle makeup powder puffs that you can get on Amazon. I will link them. Mine are really dirty because I just used them today, but they're great for using any powder, really. Try using your powders with one of these, and I swear it'll change, not your life, but it'll change your makeup and you will thank me. So I love these. I really need to wash mine and actually order more because they keep like disappearing. They're like socks. Like, where are they going? I want to know. Where are you guys going? Please tell me. Oh God. I was just gonna do like a little puppet. Why am I like this? Now let's move on to eyes. I don't have like a ton of eye stuff because honestly, I don't really wear eyeshadow that much. A lot of these like bronzers, highlighters, blushes, those are things that I use on my eyes on a day-to-day basis. Like, I don't reach for an eyeshadow palette. I just don't, if I'm being honest. But I know I had to mention one to you guys because you will ask. And so my favorite one that I tried this past year, and I use this in my bridal makeup video, so that's how you know it's good. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. It's just the best neutral palette ever. I love all of the shades. I love the variety of textures and finishes as well. You have matte, you have shimmer, like a pressed, like a glitter type formula, and then you also have creams here, which I'll be honest, I've never used in my life, but the rest, perfect. Blend like butter. And yeah, I will be using this on my wedding day, I'm pretty sure. So I had to mention that. And then let's talk about mascara. I tried so many this year and I was like, I don't know what one to talk about. So I was like, you know what, let me mention the one that I actually repurchased. So that is the Merit Lengthening Perfect Black Mascara. This is my second tube of this. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's lengthening. It holds a curl for me pretty well. It's nice and black. It doesn't irritate my eyes. It's not hard to remove. It doesn't smudge or flake. And yeah, checks pretty much all my boxes. So when I repurchase a mascara, that's saying something. So this one, and then I also actually should mention, I went through 2 mini sizes of the Benefit Roller Lash. That's one that I keep in my purse to like touch up or add more mascara throughout the day. So I probably should mention that as well. And then now these I use for my eyes as well as my brows. So I guess this is brow/eyes continued. These are the NYX Lift and Snatch eyebrow pens. I have these in multiple shades. I have black for when I want to use it as black eyeliner. I have brunette when I want to do a brunette wing, which I have today. And then I also have ash brown, which is a little bit light for doing a wing, but sometimes I still do. But I love this for a brow pen for me. Ash brown is like the perfect one for me. It's not too dark, and I just love the tip of this. So I always mention the Urban Decay Brow Blade, but the pen is even better, and I just love the variety of shades, and it's so fine and precise. It's a really, really precise, teeny tiny brush tip. So it gets really tiny little strokes, and it's great for wings. It's great for brows. I love it. So I had to mention that. And when I do my brows, I always pair this with a pencil. That's just personal preference for me. And my favorite pencil that I tried this year is this one from Makeup Forever. This is their Aqua Resist Brow Definer. This lasts like no other. It's waterproof. It stays on all day. And the tip of it is very tiny and precise, and it's creamy but not too creamy, and I just really, really like it. And this is actually shade Soft Brown, but I usually use soft brown or medium brown. When my hair is a little bit lighter in the summertime, I use soft brown, and then this time of year I use medium brown because my hair is a little bit darker. Then next for brow gel, this is my favorite one that I tried. I tried it probably in the last like few months or so. It's the Makeup by Mario Master Hold Brow Gel. Obsessed with this. It holds so well. It doesn't give a white cast. There's so many out there that I feel like just give a cast, or they make my brows like stay in place but they're like too shiny, and this is just the perfect one. I love the applicator. I love the formula. It's just amazing. So here's what the brush looks like. One side is like a long comb and the other side is like really short bristles. And it's great for, you know, brushing up and then laying it down. So I don't really like that laminated brow look. You definitely can achieve that with this. But I just like that it gets and coats all of my brow hairs really nicely because I do have fairly thick brows, and I just really love how this holds mine in place and it doesn't leave a weird cast. Then I almost forgot I wanted to mention a setting spray, and this I really love, but I will say that I switched the nozzle on mine. This nozzle, I can't even remember which one it's from, but I think I got a defective spray because nothing was really coming out. I don't know if it was clogged or what, but I love the formula of this, and it's from Lawless. It is their Glam Guard Long Wear Setting Spray. It says that it's long wearing, skin soothing, makeup protecting, all of the above. It sets powders well, it sets creams well, everything stays in place all day, doesn't get shiny. It does smell kind of weird, but I think it's because it's like a clean product. Sometimes like clean products, they just smell like kind of funky, but it's like nothing that you will smell after like 2 seconds of spraying it. But I really like it. It gets rid of that powdery finish, makes my makeup last all day, and it doesn't make my skin feel too tight or like dry after. I don't know if it's just me. I think it is because everyone is obsessed with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. That makes my skin feel so tight and dry that I have to literally like saturate my face with 10 other setting sprays just to offset it. So I don't know. There must be an ingredient in that one that I do not like, but I know everyone is obsessed with it. But yeah, this does not do that to my face at all, and it has a really nice setting effect for me. Now we're winding down to lips. So I had to mention my go-to lip liner. I pair this with basically every lip color that I wear. It is from Maybelline, so nice drugstore fine. And this is in the shade Totally Toffee. So it's a nice darker nude shade, and it's not too like warm of a nude. Like I hate when it's like an orangey nude. This is not at all. It's very nice and neutral. So I have it on my lips today and pretty much every day of my life, but here it is there. So it's just really nice neutral darker nude. Just my favorite. I need to get more shades of this, but this honestly just pairs well with pretty much all of my favorites, so haven't really felt the need to. So that's that. My favorite lip gloss for the year has been the Dior Lip Maximizer. I have this in so many shades. This is kind of my go-to just to pair with lip liner. This is the shade 013. It's a really nice nude shade. And this is a hyaluronic lip plumper. It's very, very moisturizing on the lips. It's not sticky like most lip glosses or lip plumpers. And it does have a slight plumping effect. It's not like intense, crazy, like you'll notice a huge difference. But for me, what I notice is like the lines or like the grooves like in my lip like are just filled in, so it kind of plumps more that way rather than tons of volume or like making your lips like super big. And it has a nice fresh minty smell, so I love these. And like I said, I have tons of shades of this. Like every shade that they make I have basically. Then I have two lipsticks I wanted to mention versus the one that I'm wearing today. And don't judge my lips right now, I just have like this weird habit, like when I'm stressed out, like I bite my lips and like peel them off. Like it's pretty disgusting. So if my lips look not that cute, that's why. But this has been my favorite lipstick ever since I tried it. This is like the only thing that I wear really, and it's the Armani Lip Power in the shade 104 Selfless. I have this on. I love the shape of the applicator because it's this teardrop, so it makes it so easy to like do the shape of your lip without, you know, making a mess. Like I can do this with my eyes closed, and it's the perfect nude shade. Obviously I have it on right now, but just like a nice pinky nude. Again, not too like orangey or peachy. I like mine a little bit more beigey, so that's that. And then my other favorite, I was going to mention Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, but this is honestly a dupe for it, and I kind of prefer the formula of this. So this is the Milani Color Fetish lipstick in the shade Secret. So the packaging is adorable. It's like Valentino vibe. And then the color is just like the perfect pinky nude. It's a little bit darker, obviously, but these two paired together are actually like match made in heaven. This is definitely more pink and darker than this one here, obviously, but it's just really nice. It looks really great, and if you like Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, just get this. It's just as good, and it lasts on the lips really nicely. So if I want like a matte nude lip, this is what I typically go for, and that is in the shade Secret. I don't know if I said that. So now I'm going to move on to hair products. I don't have a ton, but I had some that I had to mention. First and foremost, we have a repeat favorite of mine, which is the Jisoo Honey Hair Mask. I've gone through so many of these, and this I use in place of conditioner because I only wash my hair like once a week, so I don't really need to use a conditioner. I just go in with a mask once a week, and this leaves my hair like butter. It is so nice. It doesn't weigh my hair down. It is so moisturizing and hydrating. I love the smell of it. It has a really nice like honey floral smell, and it detangles my hair as well. So I don't even need a detangler when I get out of the shower. So this is my favorite. I will forever repurchase this because I have not found something that I like better that doesn't have tons of silicone in it that makes your hair feel soft, but actually just like coating it. So this has been my favorite for years. And then my top dry shampoo that I tried this year is the Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. This actually feels like it's cleaning your hair, and it doesn't leave like a weird texture. Like I don't like when it feels too much. Like I don't want to feel it in my hair. So this, like you rub it in, it gets rid of any whiteness of residue like once you rub it in, and once you rub it in, it gets rid of any feeling of it. So like you don't even know it's in there, and it just is probably the best one I've ever tried. Yeah, it is. It definitely is. Then I wanted to mention a shampoo that changed my life. This is the Dr. Eddie's Happy Cappy baby shampoo. It's a medicated shampoo and body wash that is meant for babies with cradle cap and like skin issues. It says it's great for dermatitis and dandruff. This has done amazing things for my scalp. I literally no longer have a dry, flaky scalp, like at all. Like it's insane to me. I've tried everything, and this has really just changed my scalp, and I'm obsessed with this. So I leave this in my scalp for like 2 minutes before I rinse it out, and you can use this all over your hair. And sometimes I will do a double shampoo, like if my hair was like really greasy, or like I use a lot of product on it. But it's great. It doesn't strip my hair color, it doesn't leave a weird texture, and I just love it. So I'm still in my first bottle, but I will be repurchasing this very soon. But yeah, if you've been struggling with your scalp and nothing's working, give this a shot because I am obsessed, and I'm so glad it worked for me. A bunch of you have messaged me and said that it has like really changed your scalp as well, so that makes me so happy. So then I wanted to mention the product I use for my hair color in between salon appointments. I think I go to the salon maybe like 3 or 4 times a year, so in between, to keep my color fresh and to get rid of any like brassiness or redness, I use this from DP Hue. It is their gloss, and I use the shade Black, which is not really black. It's more of like a deep, dark, cool brown. And it's not permanent, it's semi-permanent, so it won't damage your hair, and it rinses out over time. So it's a great option, and just if you want to like refresh your color and do it at home, it's super easy. Wear gloves though, wear gloves, because otherwise it will stain your hands and your fingernails. So keep that in mind. And then the last hair product I had to mention is, of course, my beloved Dyson Airwrap. This is the only hair tool I really use. Sometimes I will use my L'Oreal Steam Pod, but if I'm being honest, this is what I use 98% of the time. Like, it's my go-to, and this is my most used barrel as well. This is the long barrel in the 1.2 inch, so it's a little bit smaller, and even though it is smaller, your curls are like tighter to begin with, but as they fall a little bit, it's like the perfect amount. So I just love this. I don't really use anything else in my hair, and they have, you know, the dryer attachment, so I use that as well. But yeah, my biggest tip for this is use it on dry hair. Your hair should not be wet. Like, if it's wet, I want it to be 1% wet. Okay, so don't use it on wet hair because then it'll be frizzy, you'll be hot, you'll be sweating, you'll be like, why is this not working? Why is my hair like falling limp? No, just use it on dry hair. I use it as a wand on dry hair. I use it as like a regular, like let it wrap around on dry hair, and it just works so much better. If you need the tiniest bit of moisture after your hair is dry, go in with a heat protectant spray or some sort of spray before, but you really don't want to use this on wet hair. I don't care what they tell you to do. Don't use it on wet hair. Don't. Bryson Tiller, he said don't. Okay? So don't do it. But yeah, this is my number one true love. All right, so that is going to be a wrap on part 1 of my Best of Beauty. I have to break it down into 2 videos just because I'm not even halfway done yet. I still have to do skincare and fragrance. So that's going to be part 2. Check out both parts, and I hope you enjoy them. Everything will be linked in the description box below for you guys. So part 2 will be coming up next. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you're having a great New Year so far. If you decide not to watch my part 2, which would be honestly so rude of you. But yeah, thanks for watching this one. I will hopefully see you in part 2, and Happy New Year. Bye.